Evening, everyone. It's Monday night, and this is your video number 672, closing comment. And I'm going to try something a little different tonight, only in function, so we'll see how it goes. We had a really interesting market today. We started off with the Empire State numbers at 17.4 versus 15 expected, so that got us a little bit more upside, but in general we had opened down, not down much, but a little, and we went sideways for a while and ended up finishing very strong with the Dow at another new all-time high, as was the S&P. NASDAQ was not, although it was the leader on the upside. So the Dow finished up 174.82, or a little over 0.5%, and the NASDAQ finished up just under 140, or 1.05. Market internals were pretty strong, nothing excessive, but pretty healthy. NYSE was 1.8 to 1, and the NASDAQ was 1.5 to 1, although volume was a little on the light side. The S&P, which was down as much as about 0.5%, actually finished up 0.65%, or 2560. The Russell finished up $7.38, or 1/3%, and the transports were up 85.98, or 0.61. The strong groups were real estate, information technology, consumer discretionary, and utilities. And for switch, energy and financials were both down. The oil had kind of a rangy day. I'll show you what that looked like. As you can see, yesterday's range, Friday's range, was kind of short, only a low of 65.41 and a high of 66.24, so really only about 80 cents of range. Today, that expanded with a low of 64.13 and a high of 66.40, so $202.30, and we closed pretty much in the middle, and tonight we are down just a penny. As you can see, we're bouncing up against the upper end of the Bollinger Bands, and we could fall all the way back to this area, just under 63, but frankly, 64.13 really wouldn't take much to have us have a test down there. The gold was up 940. As I mentioned this morning, it really needs to break out a bit, and I'll show you what we were talking about earlier. And I'm going to get rid of this Bollinger Band. You can see on the daily that, this really acts well with the Bollinger Band, and we did come down to the bottom. This morning, I was telling you that what I thought we ought to be seeing is, or what we needed to see, was a break above this 1735 or so, 1738. We did not get that. It was a very short range day, with a range of 1726 to 1719, a $7 range. So kind of a nothing day, and tonight, as you can see, we're also really doing nothing. We're up 90 cents. Bitcoin had the big range today. It was as high as 61,255 and as low as 54,915, and it closed to about mid-range. Let's just pull it up here so you can see. It's down 380 tonight, which is really not much, but as you can see, it had a huge range, and it closed about 3/4 of the way down on that range, but still well above support. I was thinking it could get down to the 53,500, but it didn't do that. And we were down 175. As I said, now we're down 450. The dollar was slightly higher. The bonds were up about a little over a half a point. One trade that I did put out today in a video, and I'll attach it to tonight's daily note, was I tried to get into nat gas using UNG. We didn't see it a couple of times during the day. It was up around the high of the day. The range was 247.80 to 256. I was looking at it at about 253, 254, so upper end of the range, and thought that we might have a reversal since we have had that type of a bottoming. So I looked at it, but then we didn't get the price I wanted to pay, and I'll show you that. But bottom line was that towards the end of the day, I canceled that order because it looked like we were closing on the low, and I thought also below this 200-day moving average, and I thought, maybe we could come down and test as low as 240, 242, 244 in this area before reversing back up. The trade that we were trying to make was UNG, same situation, as you can see, very oversold versus the linear regression, all the way on the bottom of this range and on the lower Bollinger Band. But we just didn't get our price. I wasn't going to chase it, and so we backed off. One other trade that we put on Friday was GE. Now, we came down in GE from Tuesday to Wednesday to Thursday. Wednesday was the virtual, or maybe Thursday, one of these 2 days was a virtual investor day, and the stock was really weak. But when we got down, we came down from this high of almost 14 and a half to this low of just under 12. I thought that was enough. And so on Friday, we bought the calls on a little bit of a rally. We paid 53 cents for the GE monthly April, that's April 16th, 13 calls. And we paid 53 cents for them. That's where they closed on Friday. Today, the stock was up and closed pretty much on the high, as you can see, up $0.75 or over 6%. And these options actually closed at 88 or 89 cents. So that's a pretty healthy profit. Going back to the futures page, tonight we're really not doing much of anything here. So the feature today was travel. Southwest Air was up almost 2%, $1 on to 62.10. Spirit Air, SAVE, an airline that I personally would not fly, only because it is so low cost and really a flying bus, was up 69 cents, and that was 1.8% also. And JETS, JETS, which is the ETF for airline, 28.71 up $1.03 or 3.7. We also had MGM up and Las Vegas Sands. Las Vegas is opening up to 50% capacity, and so that group has been stronger. And Penn Gaming and Caesars were also both up, and they are both going into the S&P 500. Lilly had bad news on their Alzheimer's drug this morning when we were talking about it. It was trading 194.5, and it was only down 13 and change. At the end of the day today, it closed 189.16, down almost 19 or 9.1%. It wasn't alone. There was also some question about the Biogen IDEC Alzheimer's drug. Stock did not get hurt nearly as badly, but it did close 260.13, down $6 or 2.3%. Tomorrow we have retail sales, industrial production, capacity utilization, housing industry numbers, business inventories, and import and export prices for February. So that is a day jam-packed with news and information. All right, everyone. I'll be sure to put that UNG video in tonight's letter along with this, and I hope everyone had a good day. I'll be back in the morning.